Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, the players have returned to training, not all the players, so we'll be talking about the key ones who have returned, including the new signings, including some players who are back from their loan spells. Should we keep them? Should we let them go? How much should you sell them for? All that will be discussed in this video. And also in terms of the preseason, it's a big preseason for us. We're looking forward to seeing all of these players going featuring in that preseason. So let's start with Saka. Saka is back, a very, very big season ahead for him. Obviously, he's been our best player over the last 5 years. But last season, obviously, with the injuries, it really cost us. We really badly missed Saka. And even when he came back, you noticed how much he was kind of struggling in a few games. He wasn't, fully fit. So hopefully, this break, I think he really deserved this break. And he's not the only player who really needed this break. We have like 3-4 players who really, really needed this break. And Saka is definitely one of them. I'm looking forward to see how. I think this is like the first time Saka's had a full break in a long time. Last year there was the previous year there was like Euros, and the previous year there's always something that Saka is involved in. This is like one of the few summers that he's gotten completely to rest, and it's great for him. Hopefully we have the best of him next season. Hopefully we rotate him correctly, we use him correctly, and don't play him those Carabao Cup games against League Two teams and all of that. Let's see how Saka recovers. Odegaard as well, I think he really needed that break. Big season for him ahead as well. Some Arsenal fans are already saying he should be on the bench, he should be replaced by Eze. For me, he's still a starter in our team. I think if we get someone like a Gyökeres there, my prediction would be Odegaard is going to get 15 assists, so it's going to be a big season for him. Last season, not a great season at all. After he got that injury as well, missed 3 months, and then when he came back, he really struggled. And whenever we have Odegaard and Saka, not contributing on the pitch at the same time, we really struggle. Hopefully that changes next season. But Odegaard, big campaign for him. Last season was not great at all, so let's see how it does. Now, one player who had a very good season but really needed the rest is Declan Rice. He got us all the way to the Champions League semi-final. He had a big season, a lot of big performances in the Champions League, in the league, and he scored a lot of goals, created a lot of chances last season. He really needed that break as well. Again, another player who had an injury last year, but he played through that injury. He had that I think it's a broken toe or something, but he managed to play through all of that. That's how strong Declan Rice is, and he needed that rest because we were basically depending on him so many times, not just defensively, also attacking wise. He's the one who's scoring those big goals for us. He takes our set pieces, very important. So let's see how he does throughout the preseason and next season. And also very interested to see which position is going to feature for us. If we sign Eze, are we going to see both Eze and Odegaard on the pitch at the same time? Maybe Rice plays as a 6. How many times are we going to rotate him now that we're going to have Zubimendi and Nogard? All that is very interesting. Speaking of Zubimendi has taken part in his first training session. Really happy to see him there. He's basically going to be starting games for us. He's basically the replacement for Thomas Partey in that midfield, and he's going to be starting games, and hopefully does adapt as quickly as possible, because that is a very crucial position on the pitch. For me, that midfield position is the most crucial part on the pitch. That is the guy that protects your defense. That is the guy that collects the ball from the defense and spreads it around to Declan Rice, to Odegaard, passes the ball to the wings. Is the one that has to be very good. If you don't have a midfield, you're not going to create a lot of chances. You're not going to progress the ball well, and you're going to give away a lot of chances. You're going to put Saliba and Gabriel and all of those guys under pressure. So Zubimendi, really happy to see him in training. We're talking about all these other transfers that have been done and others that we are trying to do. A lot of ups and downs. Arsenal fans, happy, sad about all these other things going on. But let's not forget we signed a very good player in Zubimendi. £55 million is a lot of money to spend on a midfielder, so he has to be very good. So let's see how he is going to adapt. Actually, I say 55 million is a lot of money. It is, but that's the kind of money you have to spend. And for a player like that, a Euros winner, a regular for Spain and all that, very, very good. Now, as you see, he's been welcomed there by his teammate, former teammate, Mikel Merino, his current teammate for Spain. I'm very interested to see how Merino does next season. Last season, he was one of the shining lights from January all the way to the end of the season. He also contributed to us getting to the Champions League semi-final. But now, with Zubimendi coming in, with us potentially signing forward players and attacking midfielders, and obviously Declan Rice has been playing in that position. Odegaard is still there. now we're going to sign a striker. Where will Merino fit for us? Is it going to be, I don't think he's going to be starting games for us. So even if he's coming off the bench, is he going to be coming on for Gyökeres as a striker now that Havertz is back as well? Or is he going to be coming on for Declan Rice as the 8? Or is he going to even be playing his old position in the number 6 position where he used to play alongside Zubimendi for Real Sociedad? All that will be very interesting. Now, he's a key player to have in our team. He's another player who can play both attacking wise and is very good in terms of the duels and interceptions and all of that. So Merino will have a big season. He's definitely going to be helping Zubimendi adapt to the English game. But I'm very interested to see how he does next. So now, speaking of Havertz as well, I'm looking forward to seeing how Havertz, where Havertz plays, just like Merino. Is he going to be used as a forward player? Is he going to be used as an 8? Is he going to be starting some games? Will Merino play in a double pivot? Will Havertz play in a front 2? All of that is going to be very interesting to see. So those guys are all back in our team now. Zubimendi is not the only new signing that has taken part in training today. Kepa is in as well. Last season we didn't get to see Neto too many times because he was cup tied for the Carabao Cup and we went out of the FA Cup in the first game, so he only featured in the Champions League game against Girona. I think for Kepa, he will feature in more games. At least he's not cup tied for a start. He's actually coming from the same team that Neto came from. Funny enough, he's Spanish. He won't have any problems with settling in at Arsenal. He's played in England before, and there's a lot of Spanish players at Arsenal, Raya, Zubimendi now, and obviously we have many Spanish players. Why am I forgetting some of them? I mean, our manager, our goalkeeping coach, all of those guys are Spanish, so it's not going to take him too much time to adapt to the team. He's already familiar with the English game, and he's going to feature a lot next. So maybe not in the Premier League, but I would expect him to play a couple of Champions League games, and I think he's going to be our main goalkeeper in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So hopefully he turns out to be a good signing for us. Now, Gabriel Heinz as well, our new basically second assistant coach, replacing Carlos Cuesta, who's gone to Parma to manage them. Gabriel Heinz, very, very, very tough guy. He's not going to sit there and just be nice to everyone. Though he's a tough guy. He's one of those players who was, very hard-headed and tough tackling and no-nonsense player. And as a manager, is the same. When he's celebrating, he really does celebrate. When he's annoyed, he really is annoyed. So I'm interested to see how he coaches with Arteta and Albert as well. How's that connection going to be? Is it going to be, very crucial in us winning the trophies that we want? Is it going to be, help Arteta push us over the line? Very interesting. Now, Lewis Kelly is also back. Another player who had a very good season last year, just like Declan Rice. One of the positives last year is just fresh off signing a new contract, obviously, recently. It was announced, and for him, it didn't take too much time. He wanted to stay at Arsenal, despite Real Madrid saying they would want him. And it was a shining light last year. Now that Calafiori is back, will Miles Lewis Kelly be starting games for us? Or will he be moved to midfield and feature there a few times here and there? But another player that is going to, really shine once again next season. Looking forward to seeing Lewis Kelly. Another youngster who's taken part is Max Dowman. He's just about to turn 16, but we've been talking about him potentially starting some games next season. We've been promised and we've been told that he's definitely going to be part of the first team next year. So big season ahead for him. But he's not going to feature as much as obviously we want him to. But I still obviously needs to develop. He's not just going to come and start games ahead of Odegaard, but hopefully you can see him 2-3 times, especially in preseason. Hopefully you can see him in a couple of games with the big boys in a couple of different positions to see how he does. Now, a couple of players who have been linked up with moves away. One of them is Gabriel Martinelli. He is back in training, but will he be at Arsenal for long, or will he be moving away? Now that we've spent 50 million on Madueke and we've been told that we're still going to sign Eze, we're still going to sign Gyökeres, we're still linked to Rodrigo. I feel like if all of those happen, it's going to be Martinelli who's going to be going if we need a lot of money to bring into the team. So big season for him. Martinelli, the last couple of seasons hasn't been great. Last season, overall, he only had 10 goals and 6 assists. Now, if you look at it like that, it's not that bad, but only 8 goals in the Premier League, compared to 3 seasons ago where he had 15 goals and he was shining and had a very, very good season, but 51 appearances last season, 10 goals, 6 assists. Not the worst, better than the previous season before that, but obviously with the kind of of wingers that Arsenal have wanted, like Nico Williams and Rodrigo, the numbers need to be higher than that. Or could it be Trossard leaving? Is also back, but will he be staying? We've had that Fenerbahce one team, but are they going to pay the money for him? If Arsenal is not in need of money and they're just trying to, create a little bit of space in the team, could it be Trossard leaving? Now, in terms of impact up front, Trossard has been better than Martinelli the last couple of years, but obviously Martinelli is younger. He's only 24 and Trossard is above 30. So all that, we're looking forward to seeing it. Now, Lokonga is back in the team. One player returning from preseason back in very, very early. For Vieira is back as well, but he's not part of training because he was with FC Porto in the Club World Cup. But Albert Sambi Lokonga, would you guys be keeping him at Arsenal? Would you be selling him? I know a lot of people want Fabio Vieira to be sold and a few others, but Albert Sambi Lokonga, do you think we need an extra backup midfielder there, or do you think we just need to sell him even if it's for 5 million? I don't think you're going to get too many big offers. It's either we loan him out or we end up selling him for like 10 million. Are you guys going to be happy with that, or you rather just keep him until we get a big enough offer? All that is crucial. Now, obviously, a lot of things have changed. There's a few players who we are used to seeing in the team, but that are not there. Players like Pat is no longer here, Jorginho is no longer here, so Tierney is no longer here. Those things have changed. And then there's players who are not there. Gabriel is still injured, so he's not part of this. Julian Timber is not part of this. Saliba is back. I've not spoken about him, but Saliba is back. There was not too many pictures of him. Nwaneri isn't back yet. Obviously, took part with the English under 21 Euros. I think Calafiori is back as well. I think I saw a picture of him. David Raya is back for sure. I definitely saw him as well. So he recently got married too. So players have been busy on their holidays. Most of those players needed a break. We had so many injuries last season. Let's hope they get back fully to full speed, and the preseason will be very, very important. So, and hopefully the players who are not here yet, the Gabriels and the Timbers, they can recover as soon as possible. Is there anyone that I've forgotten? There's players like Jesus who are injured. Is there anyone who have left out? I don't think there's anyone who have left out. I don't think so. If there's anyone I've left out, Kivio. I think I saw Kivio as well. Hopefully Kivio does stay. I can't talk about all the players. I just talked about the ones that I think I've talked about everyone. If I've forgotten anyone, I probably didn't see a picture of them. But that's the latest. Let's see how they do. Good to have them back. We've missed watching Arsenal, obviously, and we need a very big season next year. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.